So, guys, we have an epic story or epic movie on the blog. Hi, guys, welcome to my channel. So, this evening I will be reviewing a movie and it is titled The King's Heart 1 and 2. It is showing on Ruth Kadiri 247 on YouTube. Okay, let us get right into the review. So, this movie started with a prophecy that is about the newborn prince. Okay, so once we start this movie, we already have something to look out for. So, the prince is born, and the chief priest comes around and congratulates the king, and then breaks a shocking news to the king, telling him that after the reign or after his reign, the next king of that kingdom will not come from his lineage. And one good thing that happened in this movie is that they kept to that prophecy. And although we had to jump a lot of hurdles to get there, we still got to that prophecy indirectly. I think that the story was dragged, and this story was actually written by Ruth Kadiri herself. The story and screenplay is by her. So I don't know if I should say it was dragged a lot. Not if I should say. The part one was dragged a lot. I was finding it very difficult to stay on the ground, to wait for the good part to come, because there was, it looked as if they were losing the point or the direction of the story a bit. But I guess it is what it is. So I'm going to like tell you a little bit of the premise of the story. So we have this prince, of course, he's born, and the prophecy is obviously hovering around him. We're waiting for him to grow. So this prince, first of all, goes into a teenager, and he has this girl that serves in the palace with her mother, or her mother serves in the palace. But then something happened, and the queen, that is the mother of the prince, sent this woman away. Now, the daughter of this woman starts serving the prince, and the queen is like, "You're going to serve the prince for the rest of your life." So they were actually best friends, and then the girl started serving the prince as his personal servant, something like that. So he didn't really realize that he likes this. Obviously, well, of course, it's not a Nigerian movie, it's not Hollywood. Of course, the prince will like the lady that is supposed to serve him. So that's exactly what happened. So this prince grows into a very wayward womanizer. He's everywhere with all the maidens in the kingdom, and this girl just follows him around. But when a man comes from another kingdom to ask for this lady's hand in marriage, that is when he now knows that he likes the servant girl, and he confessed to her to leave this guy and face him. This is one thing I hate, because first of all, I did not see the chemistry between these two at all. If you've watched the movie and you saw chemistry between them, I don't know how that happened, but I did not see a single chemistry between these two. What is this thing on my screen? I beg shift. Anyways, as I was saying, I did not see any chemistry between the two, that is Ruth and the prince, at all, because immediately she stopped he stopped the other guy from coming around. They now started dating. Him and Ruth now started dating. I don't know how that happened. It just happened so fast. Now, if you've seen the movie, this review is mostly for people that have seen the movie, because I'm not going to go into telling you all about the story. You have to go to the channel and go watch it. It's a long story, obviously, since it has part 1 and part 2, Abby. So the things I'm going to point out are, number one, that part where Olama, that is Ruth, decided to go and find Icheku, the great one. And they started making it look like she was climbing 7 mountains and crossing 7 seas, all this kind of adventurous horror bush forest type of vibes that they were trying to give. Please just make her walk from kingdom to kingdom looking for Icheku. They were trying to stress me with her crossing here and there, you know. Omo, I know what they were trying to do there, make it look like, oh, she was going on to this mysterious adventure. She was kind of, because she was looking for somebody that wouldn't easily be found. But then I just think they did too much in that part. Before I continue, I want to point out that soundtrack is the one that was sung by a lady, the Igbo soundtrack that was sung by a lady. I don't ever want to hear that soundtrack in my ear ever again. Now it had meaning. The lyrics have meaning that, touch on the story. But it was not satisfying to the ears. Since I know the language, okay, and there is a way you will speak a language in music, it will be sweet. And there's a way you will just be packing language into music and the thing will sound so odd. Especially to the ears that understand the language, talking about language. These people try to speak Igbo. That is the prince and Ruth. And for what? And for what? See, it does not have to be Igbo, honestly. It really doesn't have to be Igbo. It really doesn't have to be an actual place that exists. You can just write a fiction, a fictitious place, a fictitious location, so that you don't have to speak any Nigerian language or any known language at all. You can just come up with anything. You can just speak straight up English. We are good. You don't. Do you know why I'm saying it? Because the murdering of that is the butchering. Hey, hey, Chineke. There is a particular place. I can't forget that. I can't forget that scene. She was like, "Uwoke tozure tozu." Like a sentence, a full blown sentence. She now cut it as if there was a full stop before she said the other one. Please, oh. Before I forget, another thing I want to point out is the lady that acted, or the woman that acted as the queen. She is a seasoned actor. I'm very sure that if you're into Nollywood movie, you already know her face. But there's a way she delivers her lines that makes it as if she's running out of breath before the sentence is complete. Hey. So by the end of part 1, Olamma had decided to go on this mission to find Icheku for the prince, for the love she had for him. From where to where? Look, I don't know if you've seen the video I made about Nollywood romanticizing toxic love stories. This is one of the examples. Because first of all, this family never treated you right. Her mother, Abi, the princess mother, that is the queen, has been outrightly disrespectful to you and your family and banished your own mother. How come you have the heart to love the prince enough to go on this mission for him? It didn't even make sense. Now, the character, Olamma, seemed to me like she's the righteous character. Of course, I mean, she's the female lead. So the female lead is sometimes or most times portrayed as, oh, the good and soft, gentle woman, especially in Nollywood. They fear to put to put the lead actors in a position where they are fearless and, they do what they like. You rarely see movies where we have a strong femme fatale. I think that's what they call it, a femme fatale. By the way, this character, Olamma, looked to me like a good person, okay? So for her to support this douchebag, because that is absolutely what the prince was. The prince was a total asshole, a douchebag, a So for her to support him, because if you watch the movie, the prince, that is the love interest of Olamma, is not supposed to be the king, okay? That is not his position. Because we found out that the king, which is his father, had another son somewhere else, okay? I'm not going to go into details because I'm going to spoil it a lot. But yeah, the movie is kind of packed with a lot of things that you have to discover for yourself if you watch it. So yeah, it's good in that aspect. So for her to support this person, it didn't really look to me like she was a good person. Yeah, it threw me off a lot because she supported somebody that is trying to take a position that is not his own for the sake of love. Remember what this family did to you. Are people actually like that? Like somebody disrespected your family, banished your mother, and you have the heart to like the person. How? Romanticizing him na man ho. Anyways, she decided to go on this mission for the prince for the sake of love. So by the time she got there, she was asked to make a sacrifice in order to make sure that this prince becomes the king, even though he was not supposed to be the king. And guess what? She sacrificed her womb. First of all, I did not see enough love between her and the prince to prove that, oh, she was totally madly in love with her. I was so shocked that she could go to that extent to sacrifice something like that, because I couldn't feel the connection between them, between the two of them. And I felt that their love, the establishment of their love was totally rushed. And I don't know if they were trying to stand on the fact that they have been childhood friends for a long time. But before that, I never saw a part where Olamma liked the prince before. Probably she was hiding it. I never saw that. The prince was so foolish. He fooled around with a lot of women, only for Olamma to find somebody that likes her, and the prince comes in between them. And that is when he now remembered to confess his love to Olamma. Olamma left the person that confessed his love to her and started dating the prince. And now she's going on a mission to sacrifice her womb for the prince to stay on a throne that does not belong to him. Olamma dey craze. Olamma dey mad. Anyways, let us go ahead before I get angry. So by the end of part 1, I concluded that the prince did not love Olamma at all. Shebi, I told you people that he did not, that there was no love between them. I never saw it. Olamma was a fool. She was, damn girl, she was foolish, girl. Damn. So now we are in part 2. Now, I enjoyed the part 2 more than the part 1. Obviously, because, in part 2, we're going to be solving a lot of mysteries that we foreshadowed in part 1, right? I just wished that there was a lot more connection between the actors. I wished I could connect emotionally to the actors. Although, at some points, you would feel emotional for Olamma, obviously, because of what she had lost, what she had sacrificed, and that she had probably been fooled, thinking that this prince was it, but the prince was a complete imbecile. What I didn't like in part 2, or part 1, all of them generally, is the royal vocabulary. My prince, I pray unto thee. All those kind of things. I don't like them. And this is not the first movie. I'm not directing it to this movie in particular because a lot of royal movies speak like that, and I get it, but I really don't like it. Another thing I wanted to point out is the wife of the prince, Abby. Yeah, the wife of the prince. Her mother was. They looked almost the same age. So I don't know what happened with the casting there. Is it lack of actors or what? They looked like they were in the same age range, and she was calling her mother so uncomfortable. So for the performance, who is the best actor in this particular film? We know that Ruth is a good actor, so pointing her out is like stating the obvious. The prince, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't think he connected very well to this character, and I think that somebody else should have been casted for the role of that prince. Now, the person that acted Icheku is a very brilliant actor. I really enjoyed his fantastic. I really enjoyed his acting. Then this guy that acted the prince, I can't remember his name self. I think Daniel Etim, that's his name. He's a good actor, quite alright, but was he good in this particular one? What do you think about his acting? I can't really. He didn't give me a memorable performance, so I can't even picture the best scene that he did in this. Especially that poison scene. That scene where he drank poison.
I have no reason to live.
Hey, who directed that part, Bikopan? Who did Biko? girl. And then there is this elder, there is this light-skinned elder that was acting with them. I like his acting style. I wish I would see more of him on the screen. I like the way he delivered his lines, his expressions. I've not seen him on screen before. This is my first time seeing him, or probably I've seen him before and I missed it. I would like to see him on screen again because I like his line delivery. Who else did great? You see that Kenzie boy? That's Kenzie boy. He just needs acting lessons, diction lessons, voice coaching, line delivery. Because I think that he will be a very good actor if he is trained properly. He has it. You can see it. He's not those ones that will tell you, "Oh, I can act. I can act. Please give me opportunity." You will give them, they'll come and be reading line for you. I think that he can act, but I think that he needs more training. He needs to connect to his characters. Connect to your character. Connect. Feel like you are in this. Feel like you are that person on the script. Don't just study your lines and that's it, and you act. And we can tell that you're acting. When we can no longer tell whether you're acting, that is acting. That one, that's the sport. I think that he's going to be good if he takes acting lessons and if he listens to my advice. Obviously, they don't listen, and probably he will never see this video. But just in case, so because these Nollywood people, they're everywhere. They see things that you don't even expect them to see. They know people that you probably think they don't know you, but they've been seeing your videos. So, just in case, acting lessons, boy. There's a very funny part that I want to point out. Thank God I did not forget it. You see that part when they went to when the villagers were announcing that the king is dead, the extras in the movie. Hey, what be that? Igwanya Wana, the king is dead.
Our king is dead.
Say what? You got one. As you got one.
So in conclusion, should you go and watch it? I think you should go and watch it actually if you have the time, because it's a very very long. I think the first part is an hour and 40 something minutes. The second part is also an hour and 40 something minutes. So that's about 3 hours plus. So if you have the time, you can do that. Yeah, that's about 3 hours plus. If you have time, you can do just that. Well, that is the end of my review.